Hello children, today I'll start with the explanation of the notes that I have already sent you. 3 pages you have received, that is 1, 2 and 3, and they are important for your introduction on the topic for cell division. Before we start with the details, let us understand children, why should a cell divide? All of us know that every living organism has started the life from a single cell stage. And for varied reasons, 1G and 3Rs, it's easy to remember children, growth, repair, replacement and reproduction. These are the basic needs or the reasons for any cell division. Every cell, when we are starting the life with a single cell stage, has to divide a number of times to organize and differentiate into different organs and structures. Repair, if we understand children, anything that is injured, dead, has to be replaced, right? And if you just imagine, every minute in our body, 20 million RBCs are being replaced, right? And even if we talk about plants, the leaves, they fall off and they're replaced by new leaves, right? New buds, etc. Then replacement, if we talk about the dead and worn out cells, they have to be replaced with the new cells. And reproduction, which is the essence of continuity of life. So these are the basic 4 reasons which are a must for a child to understand for the need and reason for cell division: growth, repair, replacement and reproduction. There are certain terms I must make it clear before we go further. The first term is karyokinesis. It's made up of 2 words, karyon, which means nucleus, and kinesis, which means to divide. So the hint is in the term only. This means the division of nucleus. So if you have to technically define, all nuclear changes that occur during cell division are collectively called karyokinesis. So this is the very important part for any cell before it is planning to divide into 2 daughter cells. Just to remind you here, when we say daughter cells, this has nothing to do with the gender of the new cells being formed, children. We never say son cells or something other, but that's a way of addressing the newly born cells. Another similar term, cytokinesis. Cyto is a short form of cytoplasm, and kinesis, just like the previous, means to divide. So if this karyokinesis was the division of karyon, that is nucleus, then cytokinesis is the division of cytoplasm. So what do you think goes first, karyokinesis or cytokinesis? Yes, you have maybe guessed right. The nucleus divides first, that is karyokinesis always precedes by always is the first step, followed by the cytokinesis, that is the secondary step. Then let's move further. Types of cell division, or how does a cell divide? In your course, children, the details of only one is in great detail, that is mitosis. There are 2 types of cell division, mitosis and meiosis. In your course, in every detail, you have to understand mitosis and a few superficial differences from meiosis. Meiosis is also called as the reduction division. Let us begin. Out of the 4 reasons, as I told you, for cell division, 1G and 3Rs, always remember the first, second and third, that is growth, repair and replacement, are the reasons for any cell to undergo mitosis. Whereas the last one, all alone, reproduction, is the only need why should a cell undergo meiosis, that is a reduction division. To move further, any cell, like last time I told you that every human cell has a chromosome number which is fixed, that is 46. Now every cell, when it is planning to divide by mitosis, the end product would be 2 daughter cells only. Unlike meiosis, one cell, when it divides, the previous division, this up till here is the same. So divides first into two cells, which further divide one more division of the nucleus, ultimately forming four daughter cells. So, this is a very main important difference between mitosis and meiosis. Two daughter cells are formed, and here four daughter cells are formed. At the same time, look at the chromosome number. 46 chromosomes divide in such a way that the daughter cells get same number of chromosomes, that is 46 each. Right? How is it possible? If you just imagine there are 46 toffees in your hand and you have to divide between two children, how can you possibly divide giving them 46 each? Something is happening here, that this has got doubled up here, making something as 92, right? That's something like a planning stage of the cell division, and then it divides equally, giving 46 each. Same here if we talk about the first step. 46 chromosomes started to divide. Intermediate stage is this, two daughter cells and the four daughter cells. Here if you see the chromosome number, each cell receives half of the parent cell, or the chromosome number is reduced to half, that is 23 each. And that's the only reason why we also called it as a reduction division, because the chromosome number has been reduced to the half. Okay, so that's the first difference between mitosis and meiosis. To move further, mitosis occurs in somatic cells. Soma, last time I told you, means body cells. That is every cell of the body except the reproductive cells, right? Mitosis will occur. I remind you again, growth, repair and replacement were the reasons. Here meiosis occurs specially and only for reproduction. So obviously it will be in the reproductive cells. For example, ovum in females and sperms in the male. Then a single nuclear division. Here you have seen the nucleus divided only once, right? But here there were two nuclear divisions, first and the second, right? So single nuclear division takes place after chromosome duplication. Here two nuclear divisions, they take place after chromosome duplication. Mitosis occurs continuously throughout life, but that is growth, repair and replacement occurs forever, that is throughout life. Whereas reproduction, that is meiosis, occurs only for gamete formation. What are gametes? They mean the sex cells, that is ovum and sperm. Here full set of chromosomes, that is 2n, is passed to the daughter cells. That is 46 passed as 46 only. There's a term, children, what we call as diploid. Diploid means 2n, right? So diploid condition was maintained in the daughter cells. Here if you talk about diploid, that is 2n, started in such a way that each received half, that is n each. And this is called as haploid. So diploid cells started to divide, ending up into haploid cells. So half of the chromosomes have passed to the daughter cells in meiosis, whereas full set was passed in mitosis. Genes in daughter cells are exactly identical to parents, but here, because it's for reproduction, so obviously there'll be random mixing, and that leads to genetic variations. Phases of mitosis, their main starting with the mitosis, I told you, this is the only thing that is in your course in every detail. So there are two main phases, karyokinesis and cytokinesis. I've already told you, karyokinesis was the division of nucleus, followed by cytokinesis, that is division of cytoplasm. Karyokinesis further has to be studied under four headings. This we'll do next time. Prophase, followed by metaphase, anaphase and telophase. Pro means first. So this is always the first stage. And children, this order has to be strictly maintained like this. You cannot change the order. Pro, meta, ana and telophase. But there's another word we say as interphase. Interphase is a preparatory phase for the cell. That is, a cell is planning to divide, but it is not exhibiting the signs. For example, just to show you, this we'll do later in detail. This is a normal cell under interphase. As you can see, resting stage. It will show no signs of cell division, but internally it's very active. Why? Because the same 46 chromosomes have to be doubled up into 92 to be divided further. So it's a very hidden kind of thing that the cell is very active but not exhibiting its activities. So just before the division, the nucleus prepares for the cell for this change and doubles the quantity of DNA, that is a chromosome substance, and this is called interphase, which is apparently a resting phase since no change in chromosome is visible, but actually it's quite active in the synthesis or formation of DNA. Synthesis means to form. Alright, so first 2 pages I hope you've understood. Moving to the third, I'll start with a topic. Now this is nothing new to you. This is again you've done in class 9th, but we'll revise for our purpose of cell division. Centrosome. Centrosome is a structure or a cell organelle which is found only in animal cells and absent in plant cells. This you've studied in class 9th, right? Where it is present? It is present near the nucleus. So if this centrosome, you have to imagine how it looks like. You have to imagine it like this. This is the whole body of centrosome, but internally, children, it's made up of 2 centrioles, and they are surrounded by rays or certain like radiating arms we call as asters or asterisk rays or aster rays sometimes. It looks like 2 bright stars or 2 sun that are shining, something like this it looks like, right? So this is like in other words we can say 2 centrioles surrounded by asters make one centrosome. Centrosome is made up of 2 centrioles surrounded by asters, and the function of centrosome is it initiates cell division in animal cells. In plant cells, centrosomes, that is both the centrioles and asters, are absent, right? So if centrosome initiates cell division in animal cell, then what do you think must be initiating the cell division in plant cells? Think of it, right? But this is something very interesting we'll discuss in our next class, children. Read the text also relevant to the same. Spindle fibers. These are made of microtubules. Micro means very small. Tubules means tubular structures. They are involved in segregating chromosomes during cell division. I'll show you how they look like. These are spindles. Spindle fibers means these fibers which are joining the 2 chromatids of chromosome during cell division, they are formed like rays, and these are spindle fibers. So children, if centrosome was present only in animal cells and absent in plant, right? What about spindle fibers? They are found in both, that is animal cell as well as plant cell, right? So please go through the notes once again, and next time we'll start with the continuation of the same, and the heading would be cell division. But the major steps, all the details, I'll start with prophase, metaphase, anaphase and telophase. So I hope that you've understood for today, children. So keep reading and revising, and please continuously make the notes compiled up at one place and keep going through. All the best.